Hey, how's it going, everybody? Chevier here. Today is January 15th, 2024, Martin Luther King Jr. Day. And today's video is going to be a video that, is long overdue for this channel. This is going to be a weather radio collection video. Last time I did one of these was when it was February of last year, I believe. And the collection has obviously grown extensively since then. So it's high time I just make this video, get it out of the way, because I'm kind of bored too, so I guess it works out. So we're just gonna go ahead and jump right into it. There's really nothing else to say. You know how weather radio collection videos go. It's the same ordeal as any other video, so we're just gonna get started. I'm gonna cut the camera though, because I forgot to do a couple of upkeep things, so I will be right back, folks. Alright, we're good, so let's just get started. We'll start over on this side of the room with all this shit over here that I have to clean up eventually. Well, first off, I might as well show you this. I think this is funny as hell. So there you go, it's a little sign I got. So right here, right next to this old Wii U of mine, is the Midland WR30.
Sunny. The temperature was 22 degrees.
This radio stays on WXL93, given it cannot reach WNG575 from its location. It's very reliable, as you can see. Went off for all the snow squall warnings yesterday. I can tell you this is a WR30 because you have to hold down program to get to the menu, and it says disable watch instead of disable warning. Got this radio because at the time WR30s were a bit on the rarer side. WR30s also do not have tuner issues, unlike the exact same other model of this, the 74210. Ironically enough, when this radio arrived, it did have speaker issues, not tuner, but speaker issues. So I sent this off to Weather Radio Guru down in North Carolina, and he patched it up for me.
Southeast.
Been working great ever since. So there you go. I got this thing in, like, I want to say late December 2022 or something.
Southwest.
But yeah, so that's that guy. Just kind of sits there secluded in the corner. Next up right here is the Midland ER50. Does awful reception right now, I'm not sure why. It's connected to just this USB thing right here, which is also plugged into the same outlet that my laptop is plugged into, so that probably explains the reception. It's got an alright flashlight, but it's Midland's ER series. They're not very good. It's 1050 Hz. I have a strong dislike for 1050 Hz radios in the age of same. Excuse me. Impulse bought this at Walmart during a severe weather event in August 2022, and the event was over by the time I got out of the store. Didn't even get any alerts on it that day. So, this is the one radio right here I regret having. I probably would get rid of this thing if I could, but might as well just keep it for collection's sake. So it just sits right there looking pretty. I'd never use it. And up here is the scanner that I do not use. This is the Uniden Bearcat BCT15X. I got this in like 2017 or something like that. I just don't find a use for it because I have a portable scanner, which we'll get into. But this does have weather and same on it, and it has the iconic Uniden siren that goes with it. So it's not bad. It's not bad. I would say this is what I want to see if I can actually maybe wire. Okay, I'm actually gonna put that back on top of there because this is something very precious. But I want to see if I can maybe get this wired into my car. If I can do that, that would be fantastic. But I don't think I have the room for that, and I don't want to dump all the money into modding my vehicle for that. So, that's that. Alright, we're going to get into the main attractions and then take care of all the out-of-service ones at the end. So, right down here in this little alcove, right behind my pillows, on my headboard, is a radio that I just got a week or two ago. The Emerson Research WBS-12. It's on channel 1 for whatever reason.
Miles an hour. Wind chill values as low as 0. Friday and Friday night.
This radio is brand new to the market. It's another 1050 Hz. Yippee. The reason I bought it is because it can wirelessly charge your phone, unlike any other radio on the market. It is a Walmart exclusive. I originally thought this was a touchscreen, but it is not. However, the buttons, except for the snooze backlight dim button, are touch input. So I guess that's kind of touchscreen, but at the same time it's not. It's 1050 hertz, and when you plug it in, it automatically sets the correct time and date for you, because I think it automatically connects to the AM/FM stations nearby or something like that. I have no idea.
Miles an hour with gusts up to 30 miles an hour.
It does have AM/FM, which I don't have set up. But yeah, bought it mostly for the purpose of just the wireless charging now, and that it's a weather radio, so it's just another radio to have. So that's that one. You just saw the unboxing video of this recently too, so there you go. Next up, all the way on the right, First Alert WX150. Reception is shitty right now. Some of these have the incorrect date and time because I don't always have these powered in because I don't have the room, so they're hardly ever on battery power. But I got power for this video. So, got this thing back in August 2022 again, I think. Initially, when I bought, this is actually the second WX150. The first one I bought was completely bricked. Completely bricked is how it came to me. So, returned that through eBay, money back guarantee, and bought this one exactly a week later, which works perfectly. Minus when it goes to reception. It's got alert history and all that, you know, it's gonna have the weekly. You know, I wonder if it still has the tornado warnings from July on this thing. I'd laugh if it does. Maybe not. Oh, will. It's got the flood warnings, that's for sure. But yeah, it's a nice little radio. This model is the regular pitched, the regular pitched side mount antenna. I couldn't find my words there. I'll do a quick siren test. It's nice and quiet, which is how I like my radio, so there you go. Not a bad gig. I'd buy this if you could. That's an alright radio. Next up is definitely the top 3 and the rarest radios I own. We have the iconic, sought after Midland WR301.
Low pressure will pass east of the region on Tuesday.
This baby is very old. I got an original 301 back in Christmas of 2015. And the reason I say original is because this is not actually the original 301.
Through Thursday.
The original 301 I had, the tuner died. So instead, I bought a regular version 5 WR300, which I probably should have made sure it was a deluxe. But I bought a regular version 5 300, put the 301 shell on it, and here we are.
South to state route.
That upgrade happened back in November 2022, but I consider having a 301 since 2015, so I've had this thing for as long as I can remember. Got your alert history. We all know the siren it has to it. It's connected to that Midland 18 SDR strobe light. Yeah. You know, it's very, very rare. It is very sought after because of the mossy oak design to it. There's really not much else to it. Otherwise, it's just a regular version 5 WR300 except mossy oak and sought after. So there you have it for that. So yeah, this baby's getting old. I love this thing. Absolutely love it. If you can find a 301 that isn't completely price gouged, get your hands on it. Right next to that is another radio that is getting very old. I got in like April 2016, the Radio Shack 12-996.
15 miles an hour. Chance of snow 50.
Absolutely love this thing to death. Like all the 1299X series radios, this one's getting really rare and sought after and price gouged and all that. For good reason. This reception on this thing is absolutely incredible. The speaker quality is amazing. It has aux, and it is still the only weather radio on the market to have a fully functional touchscreen only compatibility slash hardware slash whatever you want to call it, and it works perfectly amazingly. I cannot form my words today. It's got the same siren as all the other 99X radios. Well, it's a tiny bit different just because of the better speaker quality, but you get the idea. Yeah, if you can find yourself a 996, go get it. Also, an incredible, outstanding radio. Had this thing, like I said, since April of 2016, the pre-BMH days. the golden age of no weather radio, if you will. So there you go.
Where? Concord River.
It's got your AM, FM, and all that. It's a great guy. Great guy. Great guy. Great radio. I would definitely get your hands on it if you could. Next up, Radio Shack 12-991 white logo.
River Street. Additional details.
Has the same exact firmware as this guy, which we'll get into. Got this in, I want to say February 2023, sometime along those lines. Bought it for $15 off of Facebook Marketplace, which was a steal for me. So very happy I got that deal. And it's been working great ever since. It just sits right next to all the other Radio Shacks on the headboard right here, and not really much else to say. Got your tricolor LED, great reception most of the time at least. And yeah, so like I said, it's got the same exact firmware as the 12993, which we'll get into. So yeah, so that's that one. Very awesome radio. Get your hands on it if you can. I guess the versions of the 991 that have the red Radio Shack logo are just a little rare, but there's literally no other difference. It's the color of the freaking logo, so I don't think it matters all that much. Next up, Radio Shack 12-519, a classic, iconic staple in most collections.
24 hours ending at 11:15 a.m. Monday was 5.5 feet. 40.
This is still the only weather radio on the market to have a Skywarn functionality, which is under that little panel right there underneath the strobe light. And it has the Skywarn button right there. I actually was monitoring this frequency during the winter storm that struck my area about a week or so ago on the 7th through 8th, I believe, something like that. They were actually doing snowfall reports through here, so that was kind of fun to watch for the first time. It's a great radio. This is a first header. I got this back in December 22. Again, I'm just going to say 22 because we all know what year I'm talking about. Iconic, police siren. Basically looks like just a giant stereo with a bunch of buttons on top. And then again, there's that Skywarn there for you. Public alert, no logo and all that. Yeah, I love this thing. I would stay away from the third header 519s because, I don't know, I don't like third header 519s. That's just me. I love my first header. I like radios that go off on the earliest headers. So, there you go. Definitely get this if you can. They're not, I think you can still find them around on eBay, but I'm not actually too sure. I bought this for $50 off of some aftermarket third-party website, so didn't get scammed, didn't get hacked. Here we are. So there we go. Just kind of taking a look at all the features, I guess. It's got a different, it has different firmware from Radio Shack, so this is actually a unique firmware, because Radio Shack tends to reuse their firmware a lot, so having unique firmware on one Radio Shack radio is a sight to see. Alright, next we have two more Radio Shacks on top of that. We'll start with this one, the Radio Shack 12-522. I bought this off of an enthusiast who said it was dead. They listed it for parts. The tuner was dead. Sent this off to Mr. Weather Radio Guru down in North Carolina, and he patched it up for me. However, a weird effect, though, is that if the radio is not in a spot where it gets good reception, the tuner just completely fades out, and you can't hear anything. Then you put it back where it gets good reception, you can hear it, and it has gone off for alerts on both WXL93 and WNG575. I'll turn it on real quick. So you can see even turning it on there, it sounded a little funky.
1 feet. Bankful stage is 8.0 feet. Flood stage is 5 utility. The maximum river stage.
Now you can see there really isn't any static when it's out of reception and stuff. And you can kind of hear that little effect in the button grips. Yeah, you can hear just how messed up it sounds, but I still got it just because the 522s are rare. These are the predecessors to this thing. And they're just, I think they're kind of cool. I just wish I had an actual working 522 similar to the working one I have up there, which I'll get into. But yeah, at least for gits and shiggles, I just have it out on display, mostly off, but just for display, because it's kind of fun to have. So, it does go off for alerts, it just does not sound the best at all. Now, Next up is probably my favorite radio in my collection. Very rare. Oh, by the way, I got that thing in July, I think. And this I got, that one I mentioned. This guy, Radio Shack 12-993. This radio in my collection has a unique story behind it. This is not my first 12993, and you might be thinking, oh my god, you're a selfish prick. This radio is extremely rare and sought after and price gouged. Why is this not your first? What happened to the other one? Well, I'll tell you. First one I got all the way back in 2015. This was one of the first radios I ever bought. I carried this thing everywhere I went if alerts were expected. It was a grand old time with this thing. As time went on, for reasons still unknown to me, the pixels on the screen became extremely distorted and unreadable. And it really made me sad, because the radio still worked perfectly fine, but you just couldn't read what it was saying at all. You had to memorize its functionality just to, like, work with it.
Flooding also is expected along Causeway Street in Medfield.
So I sent this off to, I don't know who, I think I sold this to Weather Radio Guru, after he traded his 993. And I was out of a 993 for a bit, and then I was alerted to this one on eBay, which I paid good money, or more money than I should have for, but it was worth it because I absolutely love this thing. It is a fantastic DXer, great reception, same firmware as the 12991. The only real difference is just the design and the difference in backlight color, obviously.
What? Minor flooding?
But this thing is literally my favorite radio. I love this thing. If I'm taking a radio somewhere where I don't have to be as quiet, I take this thing. So it's a fantastic radio. Has a button up there that can brighten the backlight. And this also has a travel home mode option, but it doesn't really work as well compared to that guy up there, which we will most certainly be getting into eventually. This camera will focus. Come on, buddy. I know you can do it. Do it, you little bitch. Nope, guess not. Whatever. So yeah, great radio. I love this thing to death. And yeah, they both of them sit on top of the 519 because I just think it looks cool. Right in the middle, right with the strobe light in the middle. I think it actually looks pretty cool. Next up on the wall, Eton Zone Guard.
0 feet. http://www.weather.gov/.
This is also not my first Zone Guard. First Zone Guard I got was back in 2017, as the new severe weather season, for the first time having the BMH up in both Gray and Taunton was coming up. Bought a Zone Guard, it worked perfectly since, and then out of nowhere, or not even out of nowhere, as time just went on, my old Zone Guard's buttons just became very unresponsive to the point where the only button I could press was the power button. I literally couldn't even press the side buttons either, which was kind of a unique failure, but just bought another Zone Guard, and this one has been working perfectly ever since. I can actually press the buttons, I can actually function this thing, and it's been working great. And it sits up here, hung up very loosely by a couple thumbtacks, but it blends nicely. It's a little crooked though. I definitely gotta fix that. That'll get on my nerves. Yeah, I'll fix that eventually. But yeah, sits up there. It's just like any other Zone Guard. This is the older version. It does not have the telescopic antenna, and it has the red, orange, green warning watch advisory lights instead of the newer Zone Guards, which have telescopic antennas and red warning, green watch, and yellow advisory, which I think is fucking weird, but whatever. I don't know why they just didn't keep the watch light orange, but whatever. Still works fine. I love this thing. So there you go. Alright. Now we'll get over to this little table thing right here, which I call the exclusive table just because of two major radios on here we'll get to. But right below that, though, we have the Radio Shack 12-521.
It was 24, and in New York City it was cloudy and 28 degrees.
Bought this back in May of 2023. This is a 2012 year-made 521, therefore the tuner will not die on me. Thank God, because that would piss me off if it did. Actually has a fairly quiet sign to it, which I like.
Cold and quiet weather are expected through Thursday for low pressure.
I just don't have any space to plug it into the wall, which I wish I had enough for, but I don't want to also risk overloading my house, so. But I love this thing. Obviously reused, kind of semi-ish reused firmware from the 12262, its predecessor, but if you can find yourself a 521 that was made in 2012 so you don't get tuner issues, go out and get it, because I really do have a soft spot for these.
Tonight.
I actually used to have a Radio Shack 12-262, which was the third weather radio I ever bought, but the tuner died on me not long after I got it, unfortunately. So after years and years of not having one similar to that, bought this 521 with my own big boy money, which was a very nice purchase on my end, at least if you ask me. So yeah, definitely worth it. Yeah, there's not really much else to say about it. It's just kind of like every other mainline weather radio. You know, same old features and all that. It's just a nice one. It's just a nice iconic radio that's been around for a while that they don't unfortunately make anymore, and it's just nice to have. As is most of these, so there you go. So, up here, we'll start with this one. We have my Radio Shack Pro 97 scanner, which also doubles as a weather radio that I use. As you can see, it's still on standby for WXL93.
Wednesday morning. Moderate flooding is occurring and moderate flooding is forecast. Areas affected include Pawtucket.
This thing is great. I absolutely love this thing. I use it as a scanner as well. Scan towns in my district for fire and police. It doubles as the weather radio, and it has a very unique set of sirens to it. It also has SAME, and it displays the actual alert. It doesn't just say like weather alert or anything like that. It actually displays, like, if it's a tornado warning, it'll say tornado warning. It won't just say like weather alert or just warning. We'll do a quick siren test. So yeah, great little thing. I love this thing. It has so many more other features to it that there's just too much to get into, but I use this as my primary scanner / weather radio. Or I use this as a weather radio, but as my primary scanner, because it's handheld and it just makes more sense. So there you go. Alright, next to that is probably the second rarest radio in my entire collection. One that is very obscure and one that very few people have. The WeatherX, hopefully I get this right, the RWB8817DT.
Set. What? Minor flooding is occurring and minor flooding is forecast.
So this radio is, again, very rare. It is not very well known at all. Very few people have it. I know of only 8 or 9 people in the entire EAS community that do, including me. This thing is very, very nice. I love the screen design to it. Again, the time and date is wrong, but that's to be expected after just powering it on. As AM FM, it's got, you know, all the buttons up there and stuff, volume, yada yada yada.
Beat. Forecast.
Has alert memory too, and a very cool scroll. Excuse me. My only problem with this radio is that you can't put it in display mode, unless you disable the alerts, which I have done, because it's kind of loud. I want to see, this might still have the tornado warnings from July on there.
Flood. What? Minor flooding
Maybe.
is occurring and minor flooding is forecast. Where? Concord River
Bingo,
low.
there it is.
When? Until further notice.
So yeah, this is a very nice radio. It actually has a flashlight up here, which will turn on. I think it has SOS too. And we'll see if I can do the SOS alarm. No, maybe not. Scared the crap out of me. There you go. Yep. SOS and a flashlight, so there you go. We'll do a quick siren test as well. Let me actually figure out how to get to the menu. We hold down this button. It has a very unique siren to it as well. Sounds like a sped up WX150. So yeah, this is, again, very rare and obscure. No one really has this thing. I got this back in June, I want to say. I was alerted to it on eBay, and this thing actually didn't sell very far from my location in Mass. This came out of Massachusetts and sold to me, which was very, very fun to kind of look at, but it's a very obscure, rare radio from 2007 or 8, I forget. One of those years. you know, warning watch and advisory light and all that. Very sleek design to it. It's easy to carry around. Kind of looks like a vintage yet modern regular AM/FM radio, if that makes any sense. Almost like a, I don't know. I get like almost spy vibes off this thing, or like you're trying to listen to intel from like police or something. So, it sits right here. Very rare and obscure radio. I love this thing. If you find it, go out and get it just because it's rare. I wouldn't say rely on it as your like main radio, but for collector's sake, go get it if you can. It's very rare though. You're probably not going to find this thing anywhere. Alright, next up is the radio that I have not shut the hell up about on this channel or social media that I just got 2 fucking days ago. Recom R500.
Flooding will close a portion of Mill Street in Dover. Flooding also affects...
This thing went off for all the snow squall warnings yesterday. And it has a very, very extensive alert coverage. It has more than just the 25 that regular Recoms can handle for alert coverage. The main reason I bought this radio, well, first of all, this thing is friggin' tiny, just for the record. You probably can't really get a good comparison on that, but it is tiny as hell. The main reason I bought this radio is because this radio has multi-channel monitoring, meaning it can monitor multiple channels at once for alerts, which is an awesome, awesome feature, especially for me, given I cover more channels than I should. It has the same siren, it has more features too. This one also has the new event codes on it, so obviously you saw it has blue alert, and then even if we just go back to the regular menu, you'll of course see that it has the snow squall warning event code on it too, which is very nice. And we'll go ahead and do a quick siren test. It sounds the exact same as all the other Recoms, but what the hell, right? Might as well. Get some shiggles. There you go. So yeah, expensive, very expensive. I used gift cards for this, so I only paid like $23 out of my own pocket for this. It's not too bad of a radio. I absolutely love this thing so far. If you have the money, or the gift cards in my case, go out and get it, because the multi-channel monitoring is a huge, huge feature. I'm not sure how much longer these are going to be around. I guess they're still being made. This is a 2020 model, and it has the new event code, so I guess Recom is still making these. Just depends on how much their supply will still stay, though, because of the price. Not a lot of people buy this thing because of the fucking price. So, you got the money, go out and get this thing. Highly recommend. Has more features than the regular Recoms too. This one has dual alarm, AM/FM, and all that. And in addition, it has, you can set the volume of the broadcast to be when the radio turns on. And it also has auto key lock, a backlight function, and a key tone option for button beeps. So you can either have it mute like I have, or you can keep going. But I like my mute. So there you go. Fantastic radio. Go out and get this thing if you have the money. I'd say it's worth it. Alright. Next up, we'll take a field trip up here. And right over on the right, we have the AlertWorks EAR10.
And 26. Mr. was mostly sunny and...
Not the best speaker, but it is an iconic radio. I don't really power this on as often as I should, but it's a great radio. It has the exact same menu as a WR100, minus the fact that you can add alerts and do alert disabling. So I would essentially call this just an updated WR100 and just beefier and brawlic, because the button beeps on this thing just sound brawlic. So yeah, it just sits here. I got this back in April or May of this past year, something along those lines. I got a lot of radios then, so I don't really remember, but fantastic radio. This is actually only the second AlertWorks I bought. The first AlertWorks I have, let me just move a couple sensitive items out of the way first. This is the first one I got. I actually won Weather Radio Guru's giveaway contest. This was supposed to be a modded RGB AlertWorks, I think, where the backlight would be RGB. However, when it arrived, the insides just completely fell apart and the radio no longer works at all, so no harm, no foul there. I mean, it's a free radio, so you can't get everything for free in life, but I was a little salty about it, even though I shouldn't have really cared as much, but I still bought it just because I wanted an AlertWorks. So here we are. And this thing's been working great for me. We'll do just another quick sound test. Iconic radio. You've seen this in a lot of channels, I bet. Next up, we got the rare-ish Cobra CWR200.
Afternoon. Chance of snow near 100%. Tuesday night, mostly cloudy.
Got this in either March or April of this past year. I absolutely love the design of this radio. You cannot tell me that this just does not look cool. Has a tricolor LED for warning watch advisory. It has alert blocking too, meaning that if the block is off, it will sound the siren for every alert. If the block is on, it will be on display for every alert except for high priority alerts such as tornado warnings, civil emergency message, yada yada yada. But yeah, I bought this thing just because it's rare and I like the design of it. I was scrolling through eBay at like 2 in the morning one day and I found it. Didn't come with the rechargeable batteries, but it did come with the radio, the charging cradle, and the cord, which I have somewhere in this room. But I use AA batteries to power it anyway, so yeah. It's got a nice little flashlight to it as well. So yeah, I'd say this is a nice little radio. If you find it, I'd say go get it. I'd say it's worth it to have as like a collector's item, just because it just looks cool. It just looks cool. I like holding it. I don't know why Cobra backed down on this. They like released it and then just discontinued it instantly. But yeah, I like the design of it. It's very sleek and just nice looking. So there you go. Right next to that is another iconic one, Midland HH54 VP2.
Then becoming mostly cloudy. Highs in the lower 20s.
Midland HH54 was the second radio I ever bought way back in 2014. This, however, like many others, is not the original HH. The original HH I had was completely falling apart. The radio still worked and went off for alerts completely fine, but it was just falling apart. There was much wear and tear to the rubber body. The antenna cover was falling apart. The top buttons were coming off. It was just time for a replacement. So in like April of this past year, maybe May, bought a regular HH54 online that didn't come with a charging cradle, but keeping the charging cradle from the VP2 I bought now, and this VP becomes a VP2 just from having the other charging cradle from the other one. So yeah, I'm really sad Midland discontinued these. You know, I guess there's all these like supply chain and chip shortages and all that, but come on, like it's been that way for 5 years now. Let's get a move on. We got to do something. I don't know economy. I don't know how difficult it is, but like, come on, man. It's very sad to see, but if you find an HH, go out and get it. This is like your go-to portable radio, portable weather radio, that is. So yeah. Next up is arguably the rarest radio in my entire collection, and a very iconic one at that. One that is very sought after, and that almost everybody has a later version of, but this particular version just being extremely, extremely rare and sought after. The white version 1 Midland WR100.
The flooding is a small section of Billerica along Elsie Avenue off River Street.
I'll even do this to you to prove for good measure. Let's do it very lightly. Version 1.
24 hours ending at 11.
So the reason it sits up here, not anywhere else, is because with both of this and the radio next to it, I've kind of tin-mounted the shit out of the antennas with just tinfoil for them to get good reception, because the reception is awful, because the antenna is that tiny. This is the first iteration of the WR100s from Midland that came out in 2002, I believe. Hence the warning watch statement light and public or hazard alert monitor. Big difference. WR100s are the most iconic weather radio out there. Obviously, everybody has like, there's 5 versions. Obviously, everybody usually has like a version 5. There's the occasional version 3 or 2. But the version 1s are just the really sought after ones, just because this radio is what paved the way for Midland history. Notable differences between version 1 100s and the more modern ones: statement alert table, very, very dim backlight, and this also does not have the functionality to mess with the backlight or perform an alert test. Oh, speaking of alert test, should have also pointed out that this is a version 16, serial 1208, I believe. But yeah, no alert test or backlight functionality on this guy. So yeah, immediately you can see what I say when this has shit reception, but very sought after. This radio actually has a funky story behind it. In February of last year, it was discovered on eBay that a version 1 white WR100 new in clamshell was sold on eBay. However, it was not actually sold. The seller neglected to mention that they had 5 or 6 of these in just as old stock, and as a result, myself and 5 or 4 other enthusiasts ended up purchasing one. So I believe Charlotte EAS, Illinois Warntech, and a couple other people, I can't remember, bought these off him. So now we all have arguably one of the rarest radios on the market in our collections because of that one little listing error. So yeah, that's probably the holy grail of eBay listings. But yep, it's just a generic WR100, but it's just iconic and sought after because it's the first iteration of WR100s and paved the way for history, like I said. So yeah. And it also has the iconic, I forget what it's called, but like you can see the jack there is kind of like, it bends outward. It's not like just straight out of the radio, kind of like it doesn't just come straight out of the radio. It has that little bend to it. I forget what it's called. I'm sure y'all know what I mean, but just an iconic radio. So yeah, probably the rarest in my collection. So that's that guy. Got this, like I said, back in February of 2023. So there you go. Had this thing for just about a year now. Wow, how time flies. Alright, next up is another rare. Emerson Research CKW2000.
Warning. Flood stage is 10.
This baby is... I love this thing, actually. I would say just... This obviously looks pretty familiar to another radio that came after it and was probably stolen by design or something like that. I don't fucking know, but whatever. I'm going to turn the backlight down on that. Where was I? Here I am. All discombobulated. So this radio looks just like the AlertWorks, but it came before the AlertWorks. And it has the almost identical menu functionalities as the Midland WR300. This has AM/FM. We'll do a siren test. I love the siren. I absolutely adore the siren on this thing. It's got AM/FM. I had to hook it up with the tinfoil just for it to get reception though, because the antenna's kind of short. But it is telescopic, as you can see. Yeah, there's not really much else to it. These are hardly ever listed on eBay, so
It was 27.
I would call these extremely rare, just because they're hardly ever listed. If you could go out and get one at like a thrift shop, or if you do find one on eBay, go out and get it, because they are reliable. They do work pretty well when severe weather strikes. So yeah, that's about it with that guy. There's not really much else to say. I want to say I got this I know before severe weather season started in 2023 last year. I just forget when exactly, but sometime back then is when I got this thing, and it's been working great ever since. So there you go. Alright, next up is another iconic, well, I forget why, I don't know why, but I have this knife right here. It flips out like this. I guess, I'll show you here real fast. It flips out. So, I guess in addition to weather radios, I'll be collecting knives now. I don't know, my dad just randomly gave this to me, so whatever. I'll put that down carefully. Anyways, back at the task at hand, right here we have another iconic, another favorite of mine, the Midland 74200.
Bringing a period of light to moderate snow to the area.
Got this in May 2022. Absolutely just love this thing. It's a nice classic from Midland. This was, I believe, their first same radio. This came out in 1999, so I definitely could be wrong, but this might be one of their first same radios that they ever released. It just looks vintage, just from the look of it. It has a keypad right here for setting up channel and same codes. Just got the 3 buttons for operation, and this is just setting up the date and time and stuff. But yeah,
10 miles an hour.
I absolutely love this thing. It looks like a nice vintage classic, so that's kind of the reason why I bought it. And it just has that like quirky vintage look to it, which I really enjoy. So there you go. It has good reception too, but it is up here on the higher shelf just because of the way it faces out. It doesn't really make sense to put it there when it's kind of low hanging. You know, it's not like the 519 where it faces the same way, but it has a bigger screen. This one just kind of like is just there, you know. So yeah, and on top of that is another rare that I just got this past summer in August. First Alert SFA 1135.
10 to 15 miles an hour. Chance of...
As if it wasn't obvious, this thing is chunky. The reason why I bought this is because my dream weather radio to ever own, which I will probably never own because it's that rare, is the First Alert SFA 1150. Absolutely adore that radio. It is my dream radio. I will like literally foam at the mouth the day I ever get it, if I do. But I saw this on Facebook Marketplace, asked the seller to ship. He gladly agreed for me to pay for it, obviously. It's the closest I'll ever get to it, which is mainly the reason why I bought it. But it is basically the handheld version of it. It has almost the same exact firmware, just different design, of course. It has a slightly higher pitched siren, or slightly lower pitched, whatever you want to call it. Lower octave, I don't even know anymore. But yeah, it's very chunky. It's also kind of has shitty reception, but if you're just a weather radio collector and not more so just looking on the consumer side, I'd say go out and get it. It kind of navigates weird. You'd think you would use these buttons in the menu, but you have to use the volume up and down buttons. But either way, we'll do a quick...
Then becoming mostly...
Let's try that again. We'll do a quick alert test. Tricolor LED too, by the way. So yeah. Very just weird, quirky radio I have up here. So I'm gonna go take a break real quick and charge this camera because we're about to die. So I will be right back and we will continue this video off. BRB, folks. Alright, I am back with some charge on this thing, so we're gonna go ahead and get back into it. So, we left off here. Excuse me. Right behind that, we have the Eton SolarLink FR370 American Red Cross Edition, red and white. It's just like any other FR370. It's basically a more versatile version of the Zone Guard. Same firmware as the Zone Guard. Has AM, FM, and all that. I like how it has a little volume dial here. It's got many ways of being powered. Got this back in like 2021 or something. This is not the first SolarLink though. The first one I got back in like 2017. I accidentally overvolted and almost set my house on fire trying to use a power adapter. So don't be like me. Read your voltage first. Because what ended up happening is that the radio not only overvolted, but it started getting black and very hot to the touch right around there on the screen. So don't do that. Anyways, bought this thing just to get another one because I love it. Very versatile. It has great reception. Go ahead and get one if you can. It's not that bad. It has a nice little solar panel up top too, so it's not too bad. Alright. Next radio, I hate. Next radio was just not what I was expecting at all. I do not recommend this thing. This is the Vector VEC 438, which, like the SolarLink, has no power to it right now. This thing's a piece of shit. The reception is awful. I guess it has a cool siren going for it, but otherwise it's just not what I really thought it would be. It's very janky to set up. Very janky buttons. It's just weird. I don't know what that crud is on the side right there, but it's just not a good radio. I got this back in like November 2022 or something. It's just not good. It is not it. So yeah, there's that, I guess. I don't know. Maybe it was either November 2021 or 2022. I forget, but whatever. Probably 2022. But yeah, not what I guess it's got Weather Channel branding going for it, but it's still just not good. I do have the charging cradle for it though, which I guess makes this thing extremely rare, because I guess that you just never find these with the charging cradle anymore. But like, whatever. So yeah, I don't recommend. It doesn't even sit right in the cradle half the time, so it's dog shit. I don't recommend this radio at all. Next up here is not a weather radio, but it is an HD radio. This is the Sangean HDR14. I'm going to turn this down for copyright. Bought this radio for AM/FM relays. You've seen this a lot in many of the tornado warnings that are relayed over W something. WZID, no, not WZID. I forget the call sign off the top of my head, which is kind of bad, but you know what station I'm talking about if you've seen videos of this. I'll show you even if we go to the menu. We can do EA history. We have... I done dare hit the wrong button. So we have test alert, a couple weather alerts. All the weather alerts are tornado warnings. So I'll just give you a scroll there. There's people working outside my house right now, so excuse that. So yeah, this thing has very good reception. It's a very nice DXer, although it takes like a perfect reception for it to actually activate for an EAS when they come in. And your station needs to have HD alerts enabled in order for it to even happen. It's not just with any EAS, unfortunately, which is kind of a drawback, but it's a nice, cute little tiny radio that's very good for portability and stuff. I got this sometime in March, I think, this past year. Right next door to that, we have the Radio Shack. I'm going to raise the antenna, actually. One moment. We have the Radio Shack 12-254. Yeah, the reception obviously isn't the best, but this was a gift from my girlfriend for Christmas 2022. Special thanks to her for that. It's Radio Shack's first ever SAME handheld, which is another little piece of history. It's got a very tiny screen to it, as well as a keypad on the other side of this door. Right there. Similar setup to like the 12250 and 249, but yeah, it's a nice little neat little handheld that came from the late 90s. I'd say it's pretty good, but it's definitely more so a collector thing, so stick with getting this only if you're collecting. I keep it off most of the time just because of that, because I treasure this thing. It's a very nice radio, and you can hardly find them anymore on eBay. So that's this guy. I'll put that back up there. Alright, next up is something I've got some splaining to do. This is the famed, for the wrong reason, Uniden Bearcat WX100.
Parts Tuesday night with blustery and colder conditions for Wednesday.
This radio is experienced, or has experienced, I cannot form my words today. I'm so sorry, folks. This radio has experienced extreme price gouging on eBay, and always, every single listing now, because of troll bidders, have sold for like hundreds and even thousands of dollars, when this radio is worth maybe 40 at best. So because of that, hardly anyone has this radio because of how expensive it is. I used gift cards again. I bought this back in like April this past year, maybe May. It's not really all that compared to what people say it is, but it is, you know, it's very nice. It has the old alert table, as you can see, with iconic sirens, which I'll cover the speaker and play for you. I'm not gonna play the rest because I actually have to be quiet now, but yeah, it's not the worst. Definitely has some reception issues, but it's okay. It's a classic otherwise. But definitely don't spend more money. Don't spend more than like maybe $50 on this if you can help it. It's not that worth it. It's just price gouged because of troll bidders. The market for this radio is like utterly ruined. But there you go. So that's this guy. Next up is the one I'm sure every one of you knows and probably has. The Midland WR120 Easy.
To 20. Highs in the upper 20s. Thursday night, mostly.
It's got the same settings as like any other 120. This is not the 120 that has the new event codes. Alright, I'll scroll this way. This is not the 120 that has the new event codes, unfortunately, but it's whatever. This is my third 120. The first 120 I ever got was the first weather radio I ever got back in 2014. And then I got another one by sending in a defective V5 WR100 to Midland, in which they gave me a 120, and then this thing I got at Walmart.
The hour here is recreation for.
So there you go. It's up on the wall most of the time, but the thumbtack I had it hanging up on came down on me, so
This morning, then becoming mostly cloudy.
it just sits here for the time being. So that's that one. It's just like any other 120. We all know and love the 120. These will be around for a while. WR100 predecessor, of course. So there you go. Next up right here is the also rare-ish Radio Shack 12-258.
Tuesday, snow. Highs in the lower.
This radio is an older one from Radio Shack. It's got a statement light, so it has the old alert table. And I'll even show you because I think if we come to watch, oh, maybe not, but yeah, old alert table on it. It's very nice. It's very quiet. It's very simple to set up. It's got a very simple menu layout. Not much to it. This radio, if it came new in box, comes with a special adapter and software to let you know on a computer what this radio is decoding when alerts come in. However, I did not get this new in box, therefore I do not have the software or the cable, which is unfortunate. But otherwise, this radio has kind of become rare/uncommon. It's very nice, very versatile. If you can go out and get one, I'd say go for it. I think it's worth it. I love this thing. I got this back in like April this past year.
Is occurring in minor flooding.
A lot of these I got around the same time last year, but whatever. Next up, Midland WR400 version 1. Dang, that reception's awful. It normally doesn't have that bad reception, I promise, but WR400 version 1, this one takes a micro USB adapter. This does not have the new event codes either. I got this right around when this radio first came out in 2014, I want to say. Nope. Oh my god, 2014. 2017. I still have WR120 on my mind. Speaking of WR120, this thing is essentially if the 300 and the 120 had a baby, because it looks very identical to the WR300 with the AM/FM, but the menu layout is completely identical to a 120, except it just adds the dual alarm in there. So there you go. It's not a bad radio. I love it so much. I would get a 400 if you can. The newer versions, the version 3s, have the new event codes, so you got that going for you. Just try to stay away from the version 2s, because I guess those actually have tuner issues.
Additional details.
So yeah. Otherwise, not a bad radio. I love it. It's been in service since I got it, so almost 7 years now. Wow. Alright, that's that one. Next up, San Gene 100. Another iconic one.
The river is expected to fall below flood stage just after midnight tonight and continue falling to 3.8 feet Thursday morning.
Great speaker quality. I got this back in April 2016. Only problem I'm experiencing is that the buttons are just starting to become laggy/unresponsive, but if you just tap them hard enough, it gets the job done. It's not a big deal. Fantastic speaker quality. This has RDS on it, I believe. Or not RDS, or BDS, that's what it is, where if you set it to a specific station, it will set the time and date based on that station. Very cool siren, very loud, unfortunately, but that's to be expected. So, there you go. Yeah, it's just a regular CL100, nothing too special about it. I believe this is the 2nd gen ones, but this still has the lower pitch siren. I know there's models that have a higher-ish pitch siren than this one, but... So, there you go. It's Indian CL100. Next up is another one that I got in December 2022, but currently has no power, the Max Digital CR01NW. I was going to get a Capello, but then I realized, you know what, I'll just be different than everyone else, plus these are cheaper. So yeah, this came before the CR2W though. I think Max Digital just sold off the rights to the radio. Has the exact same firmware, but just button layouts are different, and you know, you have a big silver radius news thing right there, so there you go. So yeah, it's not too bad. This thing actually has really good reception actually, so I would go out and get this if you could. So that's that guy. Has a very cool sound too. Now we're gonna get to the out-of-service radios, and unfortunately there is quite a few. This right here, which I just took out of service recently, is my Midland 74-250C, which I got back in 2018 over the summer. Speaker/tuner died out on me, I think. This has fallen off the shelf there a couple times, so I think that's why. I think that just did it. I think that was the final blow. It does have a cool siren and a cool scroll, but it's not really all that much because the reception is just kind of really shitty. But I would say, for another collector's sake, go out and get this if you can. It is pretty nice. So, unless I find a way to fix that, that's out of service right now. Next is the Recom R1650C, which I just took out of service for the R500. It is a nice radio, however, this is a C model and not a D model, so therefore the C models were kind of the more defective ones. That's why they came out with the Ds. The C models, this one right here, they have wonky tuners. This one didn't die on me, but these kind of have wonky tuners, and for some reason, for every 6-hour event that the radio decodes, it immediately goes from reading as a 6-hour event to a 1 hour and a 43-minute event, which was just pissing me off. So I did not like that. It does otherwise have the same functions as the R1630, except this has AM/FM, as you can see by the extra buttons. So there you go. Got this back. Got this off Facebook Marketplace for like $20 in April or something like that. So there you go. Next up, I think I got this when I went to the Cape in like 2019. The useless, just dog shit Eton LL Bean Red FRX1. I hate this radio. It literally just practically doesn't even work, but it has a stupid like dial thing right here to tune. It's just dog shit. Stay away from the FRX radios. They're awful. So, dog shit. Next up though is what I replaced or took out of service for this. The Recom regular model Recom R1630. This thing worked wonderful. I just wanted a 1650 for the AM/FM, and I like the extra buttons on it. Obviously, I didn't really get exactly what I wished for, so I kind of regret that on my end, but the 1630 is a fantastic Recom radio. It gets the job done. Same exact settings and everything, just no AM/FM. And yeah, I got this thing back in 2017 as well, around New Year's. So there you go. That's that one. Hang on one second, folks. Well, boy, don't I have some splaining to do. It is now 10 hours later. Got distracted, but we're back. So, we left off with the 1630. Now we go up here. Right here we have another Midland WR100, but this is also a rare-ish one. This is a late version 2 WR100. You can tell it is a late version 2 given the statement light, no public alert, therefore it has the same firmware as the V1. However, the letters in the letter same are separated by those little colons. Virtually no differences besides this having a brighter backlight. I bought this off of Weather Radio Guru. When he downsized his collection, he collected a lot of late version 2 100s. So I bought this one off of him. Worked great. And then I found the version 1. So, yeah. But this still works, and should the version 1 hopefully not crap out on me, I'll use this. So there you go. Bought this off of him back in, maybe January? I don't know. Last January. Or February, actually. I think this was definitely February. So, there you go. Next up, actually, let me put my sleeve down a little bit. Next up right here we have this Midland HH50. I don't know why I really still have this. The battery cover just kind of came off. The radio still works, but yeah. This is another 1050 hertz from Midland. It's very small. It's called a pocket radio for a reason, for it to fit in a pocket. I've had this thing like for as long as I can remember. I think I got this back in 2019, or I don't even know. I don't even know why I bought this thing, to be honest. It's not good at all, but whatever. And speaking of not good, this piece of garbage, the Lacrosse S83301. If you find this thing, don't buy it. It does have a flashlight. It has tornado only mode, but the reception is dog shit. The overall firmware is dog shit. I just don't like this radio. It's not good at all. Stay clear from this. I'll put that up there. Next up, Midland. This has a goddamn 9-volt in it, doesn't it? No, it doesn't. I guess it just feels heavier. Alright. Anyways, Midland WR10. Got this back in 2017, I want to say. It's another old one I've had forever. It's just a 1050 hertz radio from Midland from the 90s. The main gimmick is that it looks like the logo of the M in Midland. Just has your standard weather alert and test buttons, other functions on the back, and crap like that. Next we got the Radio Shack 12-250 right here, which you can barely see. I'm actually gonna find my phone. Oh, it's in my pocket. We'll come into my little app here. Make this a tad brighter. There we go. So yeah. Wow, really collecting dust, as you can see. We have Radio Shack 12-250. There's literally nothing wrong with this. I just brought it out of service to fit the WR30 over there in the corner. So that's that. Got this thing in May 2022, I want to say. And it's worked great so far. It's worked fantastic at that, actually. So yeah. This is Radio Shack's first weather radio, I think. Or one of their first themes. I don't know. Came out in the 90s with like the 12249 and stuff like that, so there you go. And then next up right here we have the Radio Shack 12-259 2007 silver. This still works perfectly fine. I just took it out of service for the 522 to be put in service. Got this back in July of 2022. Literally the same thing as the 522 over there, minus a charging light and a different color. Anyways, that's gonna do it, folks. Really not much else to it. I hope you guys did enjoy this video. I know it was kind of crappy and poorly made, but did what we could. So hopefully I'll get more radios in the future. So that's gonna be it for me at least. Hope you guys enjoyed. Like I said, like, comment, subscribe, and all that. And I will talk to you guys later. Take care, everybody.